Hi there guys, welcome back to a brand new tutorial by myself, Mr. Feudal. Today we're going to be learning about server settings and how the server settings in Life is Feudal can really impact your gameplay. I hope you enjoy this and I hope you learn something. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, welcome to the server setting tutorial. This was requested by a few users on Reddit, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little short tutorial on this. So first thing you want to do is join a world. Now you're wondering, I'm new to this game, completely new. What do these things mean? What does this mean? What does Judgement Hour mean? So for this example, I'm going to use my favourite server. So first we're going to start with Skills and Stat Progression Multiplier. Now this can go from 1 all the way to 1,000. Now 1 means it's 1 times skill gain, which means it's going to be a very grindy game. Usually you'll find that in hardcore servers usually. 1,000 is basically the easiest thing you could do. You could pick up a bit of plant fibre, you can go from 0 to 90 in one action. It is really easy. It's 1,000's easiest, 1 is the most difficult. 100 is usually the kind of the average of normal servers really. 100 allows you to get between 2 and 6 skills per action. So if you were to pick up a bit of plant fibre from level 30, you'll probably get 2 levels per plant fibre action completed that's actually successful as well. The next one we want to go on to is skill cap. Now this is pretty obvious what this is. The skill cap is the overall skill cap of your character for both crafting and military skills. So you've got 3,000 skill points to use in the crafting tree and the combat tree. So technically you've got around, if you think about it, you've got 6,000 points. You can master every single skill in the crafting tree and the combat tree. So that's pretty obvious. I don't have to really explain that as much as I will in the next few. Terraforming speed multiplier. So this only goes between 0.5 and 5. The reason for that is, if this was set to 1, each time you dig into the ground with your pickaxe, if you're mining ore, stone, granite, anything that you can use your pickaxe on, you will pick up 10 stone or 10 granite or 10 ore. 1 equals 10. So in this instance, 5 equals 50. If it was, for example, 0.5, you would only pick up 5 rocks, 5 ore, etc. So the higher this is, the easier it is to really dig and mine. Pretty simple, right? Now, crafting period in seconds. This is to really do with like crafting primitive tools, crafting food, crafting weapons. It takes an overall 30 seconds in order to complete that action. Now that should seem pretty obvious because that's the crafting period. That is the period of time that you spend crafting that specific item. Animal breeding and feeding period. Now this is in minutes. Basically when you get to a high enough level of animal lore, you'll be able to breed animals. You'll be able to breed chickens, hares, cows, sheep and pigs and horses. Now you need to be level 60 in order to do all these things, but it takes 60 minutes to force breed. If it's successful, that is. If it's successful, it will take 60 minutes and it will produce a new animal. It will produce a new pig, sheep, horse, cow, etc. Pretty obvious. Okay, on to plant growth period. Now this is where it gets a wee bit interesting. Now this is not set in hours, this is not set in minutes, this is actually set in block 8 hours because crops and trees have 8 stages of growth. Now, if the plant growth period was set to 1, it would take 8 hours before they actually mature. Now, let me explain that to you. When you pick up a seed, for example, cabbages, carrots, etc., when you plant them, you need to wait 8 hours from that point that you plant them in real life for them to fully grow. You've then got a further 4 hours before they die. So technically, really, you've got 12 hours to harvest these things. But the 4 hours after the 8 is the decay period, and that is when they lose quality. That is when they lose their quantity amount. So if you harvest them from when you plant them, within the 8 hours, or when it strikes that 8th hour and they're ready to be harvested, you will usually get a large yield and a good enough quality to match it. In this server, it's 2.5, so we have to do 8 times 2.5. What is that, you ask? 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So I need to wait, technically, nearly a full day before my crops are ready to harvest. The next one in the server settings is wild animal count. Wild animal count is basically just the count of how many animals spawn on the Life is Feudal map. Now this is Life is Feudal, your own map, remember, not the MMO. Wild animal amount can also impact server performance. So if this was, for example, set for 100, which it previously was, there was a lot of lag because there was a lot of animals being spawned in at random times after the day cycle, really. So the next one we go on to is object decay rate. This goes up to 1,000. 1 is the slowest, 1,000 is the fastest. Now, this is basically if you build, say for example, you build a tiny shack and you've got a claimed monument, it will take longer for it to decay if it's set to a low number. For example, 1, it'll take ages to decay. If it's out with a claimed monument, it will take very little time before that starts to decay. I would say it would take a day for a tiny shack to disappear without a claim. However, if it's within a claim, it will probably last quite a few days before it eventually starts to decay away. Now, if it was set to 1,000, then that means that when the object is built, there's a specific time period, and I'm not sure on this. I've tried testing this, and I've tried to go into minutes and hours and days, but it's just impossible to try and get, because sometimes when you have to sleep, it might decay then. Who knows? But all I can say is 1 means it's a slow decay, 1,000 means it's a very, very quick decay. The next setting is usually set by the server owner if they want their server to be PvP orientated. Now, Judgement Hour, let me explain this to you. When you build a claim, you have a circumference of territory that belongs to you. In that circumference of territory, you can place down containers that no one who's not within your guild can access. Only you, the guild leader, and your guild members can access those containers, can also claim those containers, etc. However, on Judgement Hour, this is basically when that claim disappears completely. This is the PvP side of Life is Feudal, really. This is the raiding side for people who like to raid settlements, get the loot, and run home with all that fabulous steel. Judgement Hour can be set between 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I've seen servers where this has actually been permanently enabled, which is crazy because I don't know how people manage to actually protect their claims and their castles. There's probably a peace treaty or something like this. But Judgement Hour disables the protective circumference around your claimed monument. Now, within that time as well, your buildings can be damaged by enemy players. So, this has been a rather short tutorial, and I hope you understand what I've been talking about here. If you don't understand anything, please comment in the comment sections below, or find me on Reddit and send me a message. I am very active on there, as well as Twitter. Now, if this helped you, hit that like button. If you want more tutorials, subscribe away, guys. Hit that little bell. You'll get more. You'll get more help. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this explains it for the new players and for any players that are kind of not understanding what the server settings are. I'm Mr. Feudal. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you all later.